A very good morning, class 12th. Today we will proceed with chapter 7, and today we will learn how groups are formed and what are the stages of group formation. There are various stages. In your NCERT syllabus, you have to do the stages suggested by a psychologist, Tuckman. So in this video, I am going to discuss the factors influencing group formation, as well as I am going to talk about the stages of group formation as given by Tuckman. Okay, so let's proceed. Now we'll study group formation. See, basic to group formation is some contact or some form of interaction between the people. How groups are formed depends on how much close you are with the others, how much familiar you are with others, or what are your tasks and goals, common tasks which you have to achieve. So all these factors affect the formation of the group. Let us take them one by one. Okay, so first point is proximity. See, how do you make friends? Let us discuss this first. When you meet someone, isn't it? Whom are you able to meet, children? The one who is closer to you, isn't it? Supposingly, you are living somewhere, say in Kanpur, the other person is living, say, in Africa. Chances now for virtual friendship, it could be there. Okay, but if we talk about the normal situations, then probably you might not even imagine that you can have a friendship with the person living in Africa. So, what it is, the repeated interaction you need with the individual to form friendship, which is possible when the person is closer to you or nearer to you. He is living, say, in your same colony, or he is the member of the same school in which you study. Okay, so repeated interaction with same sets of individual give us a chance to know them, their interest and aptitude, and if they have share the common interest, attitudes and background, then we develop liking for those group members and we make them friend and form a group with. Factor, children, is similarity. Yes, similarity. Those people who are similar to us, those people who have same attitude like us, these are the people which will give us confidence that yes, we are right. Those whose mentality is same, they flock together. Okay, suppose you are of the opinion that too much watching of television is not good, as it shows too much violence. You meet someone who has a similar view. This validates your opinion and you start liking the person who was instrumental in validating your opinion. Okay. Next point, common motives and goals or task. Okay. When people have common motives or goal, they get together and form a group which helps them to facilitate their goal achievement. Okay, as I had already explained you this point of common motives and goals in the other video also. Okay, let's take an example. Suppose I want to teach children in a slum area who are unable to go to school. Now, is it possible for me to do all this alone? No. So, for this, I will take up like minded friends, okay, who can start teaching along with me. Huh? This cannot be done alone. Same way, if you remember in one of the video I had discussed, if you want to eradicate the social evil of dowry, then also you will form group. So it is the same point again. Now next topic for today is stages of group formation. In this we will take up the stages suggested by a psychologist called Tuckman. It is part of your CBSE syllabus. So we will take up all these stages as discussed by Tuckman now. According to Tuckman, the group passes through 5 developmental sequences. These are forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Okay, now we'll take them one by one. The first stage is the formation stage. Okay, in this the group member meet and they decide their goals and also decide how to achieve that goal. People try to know each other and assess whether they will be able to continue or not. Okay, there is excitement as well as apprehension in this stage, that is called forming stage. You can think over like this, huh? When you will go and find mate for yourself, you are excited also and you are worried also, how will my partner be. Okay, so this is first stage, that is forming stage. Next children, let's talk about storming. Okay, so it is the stage of intergroup conflict wherein the leadership of the group is decided as well as who is going to perform which task. That means the group members are given certain responsibilities. Hierarchy of the leadership in the group develops, and then a clear vision is seen how to achieve what the group desire. This is called storming stage. It is followed by norming. Now let's understand what is norming. Children, the group members develop some norms or some unwritten rules for their groups. This leads to development of positive group identity. Next stage is the fourth stage, that is performing. By this time, the structure of the group has evolved and is accepted by the group member. Okay, group move towards achieving the group goal. That is, you start performing and your duties. Okay, and then finally you achieve your goals. So this stage of performing in some groups is considered as the last stage. However, for some group, for example, if you are having any function in your school, then there is one more stage, that is called adjourning stage, or the stage in which members are told that yes, now our purpose of this group is finished. Supposingly for the annual function in the school, say 10 teachers were involved and say 20 classes were involved in that group, whatever. Okay, just an example. So that group is now being dissolved. Its purpose is over, the function is over, and this is also considered as the last stage as discussed by Tuckman. Okay, with this I finish this topic. If you have any doubts, do comment in the comment box.